How is it going today, everyone, on this great Monday, start of a new week? If this is your first time to the stream, shout out to the stream sponsors, guys, of CoinCatch and Tealstreet. They are the better platforms, in my opinion. This is Tealstreet right here. This is where to read the level 2, the order books, the depth chart, that sort of thing. I think that this helps guide you a lot when it comes to the low-term time frames. Shout out to CoinCatch as well. They are the perpetual exchange of choice that we use over at Trade with Castillo. They have some pretty good pairings, really good liquidity built on Bitget infrastructure. Best perpetual exchange out there for me. No KYC, no VPN. It's just something that's necessary for the quicker trade. All right, so let's just dive right back into this. So for BTC, we did go over a little bit of an extensive play over on NPOC levels. Again, not much has really changed, guys. So we do want to talk about a couple of NPOC levels that we're watching. First off, this is a little bit of a short entry. We did have a short entry based off of the NPOC levels above head over at 65856 and 66643. So those are the levels potentially to kind of short into above current price action. I am not trying to short into this. I do want to just see how the low-term time frames over on Tealstreet work out, and we can kind of go from there. To the downside, we don't have many NPOC levels now within range. The lowest ones that we have within range are all the way down at 47,340. This is kind of where we hang on those low-term time frame prints. We could potentially work within this area. So whether price gets extended higher from here and we break all-time highs and the print stays lower, well, then that's going to be an area that I want to look to long into right here. Vice versa, if we drop from here, the NPOC print stays within this area, then I'm going to continue to look for a retest of this area before we potentially go lower. So that is kind of how I play the NPOC levels to the downside, or at least to the low-term time frame local prints. This is just a good example that we created on Friday. We had a print at 61577, and again, we wanted a retest of that area before a move to the upside. Just from that print, we got about an 8.5% move to the upside, which again, you throw on 10x leverage, that could be about 40 to 80% depending on what you're comfortable with, depending on what your position size is. Really a decent area to kind of be working within. Shorts have not really been working out. It's hard because we don't have any NPOC prints to the upside. If you go all the way back, these NPOC prints, the ones that we are currently in from shorting, are all the way back from here of November 2021. These are just some very important NPOC levels, the last above head that we have within our charting, within our setup, within all of that sort of things. Things do stay the same. If price does drop, let's just say some crazy nuke happens, if we do drop to this 42 to 47,000 area, you better believe that I'm going to be looking to buy that area. I doubt we get that lucky, but again, it's just an example of sticking to some of these. We've been wanting to long these areas since the beginning of last month. It does stay the same. If something crazy happens and a nuke happens, those longs are still valid and we still want to be longing those levels, kind of staying level-headed within that. We've kind of talked about the high-term time frame on BTC. I think that we can break all-time highs, use that as a support level to springboard higher into the six-figure zone. Within local NPOC prints, that's what I'm going to be focusing on, buying dips, that sort of things. Basically, after all-time highs, NPOCs will mainly be used for buying the dips. So there is no price discovery in this area. So if you think about it, if we do break all-time highs, there's no price discovery at all. There's no support levels, there's no price, there's no volume based on those support levels. So you do have to start looking locally. Like, that's why I was saying you can start to look towards those whole numbers. 80,000 is a very key level, 85, 75, 70. Those whole numbers are where you're going to see a lot of people taking profit from lower. There is no price discovery in this. There is no price action within this level higher. So it's hard for us to go off of NPOC levels. It's hard for us to even go off of any sort of technicals, any sort of support and resistance levels, just because price has never been above 69K. But again, this is what I talk about, of finding that discovery above previous all-time highs and then using it as a support level to dogleg higher into the six-figure area. So I can't believe I fumbled that 61577 trade on BTC. These shakeouts, let's see, 61577. Yeah, you got shaken out on this. God, I agree. It is hard because we are in that area of just uncertainty. I always want you guys to remember BTC likes to run a lot harder than people think. So that just means that it goes a lot higher for a lot longer than what most people expect. Vice versa, it also falls a lot longer and lower than people expect. Just remember that the runs that BTC has are exponential to the upside and to the downside. People fumble trades all the time. It's not the end of the world. As long as you didn't lose money, I would say that it's not a big deal. And even if you did lose money, keep it small. But this was a really good NPOC entry. And this is what I'm trying to mirror with what is kind of happening within the BTC price action right now. If we get a print that is below current price action, well, guess what? I want a retest of that. BTC starts to go up and the print stays here. Well, I want a retest of this level so that I can get my long into the next move higher, break of all-time highs, whatever your targets are based off of the time frames. That is what is going to be most important based off NPOCs going forward, because right right now, unless we just continue to drop, we have no overhead NPOCs as targets, which is a good thing, right? You want to be into that all-time high area. You want to be making as many gains as possible. So let's just get into Ethereum. Ethereum has a little bit more to play with. BTC is kind of digging into all-time highs, while Ethereum is still pretty high off of all-time highs. So you got some room to run. This is why I'm focusing on altcoins, focusing on buying dips, focusing on Castillo AI trading, that sort of thing. So based off of NPOC prints, we have one at 39193808. So essentially this is the targets that I'm looking for. I'm looking for Ethereum to kind of dig into this regardless. That's just higher for me. Also, we have NPOC print to the downside. This is something that is good because it offers us an area of interest to buy. I don't think anything changes here. We had some pretty good long entries. This was one that we talked about on Ethereum as well. We wanted a retest of that 3375. We ended up getting it perfectly onto the downside, looking to long. This is that clip that I sent you guys over from the previous live stream that we created on 3/1. 3375 was a retest that we wanted. And this is why I say the low-term time frame NPOCs are very good at finding those liquidity grab pivots. Once it pivots and it grabs that liquidity, all that volume traded on a previous day, when you're getting into price discovery like Bitcoin is and you're looking to buy the dips, they're great areas of interest to buy the dips at. But let's create a new game plan. We do have this NPOC print at 3429. It will be the next area of interest to long before we can potentially dig into 38 and 3900. I'm not doing anything crazy when it comes to finding these levels. I'm having patience for the levels to print, and I'm creating game plans based off of the levels when they print. It's not rocket science. Some people don't even believe that I was able to find a certain level at a certain time before it moves, but everything I do is logged live for you guys. Creating that level 3429, where we mapped out that level based off of previous days price action. Then we create the long entry, and I really do this live in front of you guys so that you can learn to do it by yourself. So like when I'm on vacation in Vegas for like a week and a half, you guys can learn how to do that. The NPOC prints are automatic, so they will print without being labeled. I go in and label this myself with a horizontal ray and then obviously a price label. I have a video explaining all of this on YouTube, Castillo Trading on YouTube. This is where you can go to my NPOC videos. I have 2 of them on there, and it goes over how I map and how I do everything so that it's a little bit more organized to see where we have our next long entries, where we have our next short entries, all that good stuff. We're gonna just continue to stay the same on this. The next short entry is up higher at 3919. Next area of interest to the long is 3429. Not gonna overthink it, not gonna overcomplicate it. It really is everything that I'm looking for based off NPOC prints on Ethereum. Let's just say we do get a wash. I'm still gonna be looking to long 3151 as well. That is going to be another long entry that I'm going to be considering for these NPOC levels, finding areas of interest to dip by. I do want to go over ARB really fast just because we've been kind of talking about it. It stays the same. This is a 4-hour and I'm not too worried about it. Obviously, if it hits this stop loss level, I'll cut the trade, but looking is still kind of dollar cost average within this area. As soon as I'm done with the stream, I'll probably add a little bit more, trying to get my average a little bit lower. This take profit 1 was hit. Kind of sucks, but at the end of the day, I still think that ARB can kind of get going just like Ethereum and BTC and a lot of other plays. I am having a little bit more patience with this one rather than cutting it or anything right away. I just think the only way I'll cut this trade is if it hits the stop loss. GRT is a great one. I am long GRT from way lower. GRT is spot bag for me. Yeah, I'm long GRT from right here. So this is a massive play for me. I have targets right here. I'm up over 6 figures on this trade. For me, I still am thinking higher, but I don't want to take profits too soon. As far as getting an entry here, no, I would say that this is a clear resistance area that needs to be flipped. It just depends on your time frame. If you are wanting to hold for a while, I think GRT is great. If you want to hold for a quick scalp, maybe not the best for a long, just depends. But I do like GRT. I'm long from way lower and I'm still holding GRT. But all right, guys, very happy to have you guys here over in the Telegram Trade with Castillo. Get on over to tradewithcastillo.com and register. If you go to the VIP members tab, guys, you just register with an email. I'll give you access and you can get the whole video series for the last 4 weeks. So it has the live streams from Monday, it has the NPOC setups from Wednesday, and it also has the VIP breakdown segments from Friday, all from the last 4 weeks. If you're trying to study and you want to kill some time and you just want to go over my in-depth analysis, that's where you can find it. It's tradewithcastillo.com. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube, guys, Castillo Trading. Please subscribe and like some of those videos. It really does help out the channel. It really helps me out. Big shout out to the team that's continuing to edit all of my videos. They are doing so much for me. They have continued to kill this. They've continued to pump out content for you guys over on YouTube, continue to pump out content for the Telegram, for Twitter, all that sort of stuff. So really big shout out to those guys, as they really are the backbone of me developing and growing this channel. If you guys are over in my Telegram, I'll be active in there right after this, sending over some setups, sending over some trades, my new average on ARB, all that sort of stuff. So I'll talk to you guys over in the Telegram and I'll see you soon. Peace.